when I achieved 1400 ELO on chess.com and the rapid pool, I stopped playing rapid chess for months. Welcome back, everybody. I am playing chess until I hit 2000 ELO. This video, I am talking a lot. I'm talking about chess psychology and chess tilt and some of the pressures of playing chess and how they have affected me recently. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you. I never know how to sign out. Thank you. Okay, here we go. We're playing a 1665 and we have the white pieces. We are rated 1603. Today, a little bit of a different type of video. I wanted to talk about chess psychology, and I also wanted to talk about chess tilt because I feel like it is relevant to my circumstance right now. As you can see, my rating is 1603. Psychology is the scientific study of the human mind, right? And its functions, especially those functions affecting behavior in any given context. And the context that we are talking about today is chess, right? It's a chess channel. And I am by no means an expert in chess psychology, right? Nor am I an expert in chess. Why am I making this video? But I am a chess player, and I have lived experience in dealing with some of the psychological aspects of chess. I mean, I've been playing chess a long time. I mean, look, here's a medal that I won in elementary school when I was on the chess team. For a long time, I've been playing chess. I didn't actually win the medal. I actually lost all of my games that tournament, and one of the older kids felt bad and gave me his medal. But I was on the chess team. I think a lot of people have heard that chess is, partly a psychological game. It has a psychological component to it, right? Let's play this move. Open up the scope for the bishop. Chess is not... It is not only a game of critical thinking, problem solving. It is also a mental game that requires a certain amount of psychological acumen. And this is because there is a large amount of pressure when you play the game. Let's see, he's getting ready to castle here. Let's play bishop out. But there's a large amount of pressure when you play the game of chess. And when you don't deal with it well, you can start to make mistakes on the chessboard. So this video, I want to talk about psychology in chess, and we will get to chess tilt as well, which is basically unnecessarily losing a bunch of games, right? Due to psychological factors. Okay, he plays a5 because he wants to do this move and make my bishop go back and then trap the bishop. So I think a4 here to prevent that. There are a bunch of pressures when it comes to playing chess. And I think that understanding those pressures can help your game. There are even pressures off the board when you're not playing chess that can make it difficult to even approach the game, right? Let's see. If I take, it kind of fixes his pawn structure. He's threatening the bishop. I think the bishop just wants to go all the way back. So I want to talk about the pressure while you're playing the game first. If I trade, the queen comes in, and then I have this move. That seems fine. There are a lot of unique pressures when it comes to competitive over the board chess. Seeing your opponent and he has this bishop move, but it would hang the queen. So take, and he would no longer have that bishop move. Okay. I mean, seeing your opponent and their body language, and you move a piece on the chessboard and you see them physically cringe at your decision, that has a lot of pressures. But I do want to talk about more so the pressures of online chess, because I think that's what most of us play, right? So this threat isn't here anymore. And if I take, he takes with the pawn. He kind of undoubles his structure. He did just hang this pawn, no? It's a little bit tricky. Just because there are discoveries on my knight here. I think I'm still going to go for it. This guy's making me think. Let's see, if I take and he plays check, I think taking is fine, right? I just hide my king this way. Let's just take. Let's go back and we can plant our knight on g3. There is the pressure of time. You know, you are not only in time pressure when, you know, there is some time scramble. Let's go knight back. As soon as you make a move, you know, as soon as you begin the game and you make that first move, you are immediately in time pressure, right? The clock is ticking down. And these are some of the more obvious pressures, time pressure. And I think time can affect you in a couple of different ways. There is the time pressure where you and your opponent have both like 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and it's a critical position. And you can start to get stressed. It's a very stressful situation, excuse me. It's an extremely stressful situation. I think I just want to try to trade queens here because we're up material. So let's go here. And like this fight or flight response can kick in, and you are most certainly not going to be making the best moves when you are under that time pressure, right? You're going to be playing with intuition rather than like deliberate analysis. It's going to result in blunders and oversights for the majority of players, unless your intuition is amazing, right? And for that type of time pressure, I think the best thing that you can do is just practice in those situations. So playing blitz and bullet, you know, if you're going into a game and you get into time pressure, if you have been in that situation 500 times before, then you are going to handle it better. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking about pushing, but I feel like it's kind of weakening my position. Maybe developing my rook this way. So going like here, it adds an extra protector to the pawn, and it can slide over to g3. It seems okay to me. Take. I mean, he's giving us a trade, and I don't see why I shouldn't take it. And maybe we can even trade rooks here. Should I be worried about him trying to sneak in here? He'd be attacking this pawn, which is kind of annoying. I could just bring my rook here and kind of tie down his queen to protecting this pawn. Because if he pushes, I have check. See, if I go here and he goes here, threatening checkmate, I can even push. There is another pressure relating to time. Less to do with like time, like scrambles, but more so to do with the length of time that you are playing a chess game, or the length of time that you are just playing chess in general, right? Your session length. Decision fatigue is a real thing, and it's something that can set in. I want to stop the queen from coming into this square. I could do that by playing my knight here. It also has the threat of going knight here, and we're having jumps. Let's do that. Decision fatigue is like a deteriorating quality in your decisions after a long session of decision making. And that's kind of what chess is, right? It's a long session of decision making. And imagine playing like multiple of these types of games that I am playing right now. A rapid game that could go on for an hour or 2 hours. And then imagine playing multiple of those. At some point, your moves and your plans and your decisions are going to be hasty, you know, without thorough analysis. And you can begin to overlook, you know, simple tactics. You can begin to misevaluate complex positions, and you're going to perform worse. And from a psychological perspective, decision fatigue can also lead to a decrease in self-regulation, which makes it harder for the player to control impulses and avoid rash decisions, right? And this is related to chess tilt in a way, and we can talk more about that. Let's see. Let's figure out what to do here first. If I go here, I think that just hangs my knight. The knight isn't hanging right now because it does have protectors. I could play my rook here and then play the rook to e3, even to e2, just to add another protector to this pawn. I think let's do that. Another big pressure that is less voiced, or I don't hear it as much. that is less obvious than time pressure is that chess is a game of perfect information. And what does that mean? That means that both you and your opponent have perfect information. There is nothing hidden. There is a position on the board. There is no hidden information. And chess engines like Stockfish can analyze and rate, every single move that a player makes, and every decision is judged against the optimal move as determined by the chess engine, right? And I think a lot of players worry excessively about their performance. Fearing mistakes, you could eventually lose confidence in your own judgment. And this continual, negative self-assessment can cause you to avoid the game. And I think a lot of chess players have dealt with that continual negative self-assessment. I think I want to play rook here and then maybe my knight. What does that do? I mean, the knight can hop in here and just kind of dislocate his rooks a little bit. But I do need to do this first. And I think that the best thing to do, if you are finding yourself dealing with that continuous negative self-assessment, because, you analyze your game and maybe you're making mistakes a lot. The engine is telling you, hey, there is a better move in that position, every position that you're in. And I think, and this is easier said than done, but trying to shift your focus from performance and the outcome to learning and enjoying the complexity of the game. And that can alleviate some of the pressure. And we can talk about ways and strategies to do that in a little bit. Because I also wanted to talk about some of the off-the-board pressures. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, even approaching the game can be difficult. Even starting up a game can be difficult. And I want to talk about off-the-board pressure in the context of my own chess journey. So, for example, when I was rated 1400 ELO, when I achieved 1400 ELO on chess.com and the rapid pool, I stopped playing rapid chess for months. Like 4 to 5 months, I stopped playing rapid chess, right? And it's because as soon as I achieved that rating of 1400, I had this fear of losing that identity that I then held, right? To play any more rapid games was to potentially put that rating and my identity at risk. I had a fear of losing, and I shifted from learning and improving at the game and reaching my all-time peak rating, 1400, to fearing losing. Let's go this way. And I think the underlying cause of that fear of loss, and I think that's the important part to analyze, right? Like, why are you afraid to lose? It was due to the value that I put in my rating, right? Unconsciously, whether you realize it or not, and I think a lot of chess players do this unconsciously, I think we associate one's rating with status in chess. And you can associate your rating with self-esteem or how you feel, especially towards the game. Or you can associate your rating with, even intelligence, right? Chess is one of those weird games that, hey, you're a chess player, oh, you must be smart. When that's definitely not the case. If anything, chess players are obsessive, right? Let's just take. And he could damage my structure first. The idea of associating one's rating, one's ELO rating, with personal identity, I think is a significant psychological phenomenon that happens in a lot of chess players. You know, it's not just a number for a lot of people. For many, it becomes a part of who they are. You know, a badge of skill or intelligence or even like worth. This is where that fear of losing comes in. When you go to play a game and your rating points are on the line, and you have this unconscious association, with your rating points and your worth, well, the pressure can be immense. Let's just castle in this position. And when a rating is seen as a reflection of oneself, that fear of losing and thus lowering, one's identity can be overwhelming. And I think that this is especially true in environments like chess.com or even like a video series on YouTube where your ratings are publicly visible and are often used as a metric of comparison, among your peers. The pressure to maintain your ELO or improve your ELO can be overwhelming, right? It can be immense, leading to that fear of engaging in games where there's a risk of losing rating points. I mean, if I go here and the knight comes, he's just attacking my pawn. I could push. Let's do that. And I think a critical point here is the shift from learning and improving to fear of losing. And that shift can stifle your chess growth, and it can stifle your enjoyment in the game, right? It's a transition from a growth mindset where challenges and playing games are opportunities for improvement to a fixed mindset where your abilities are seen as static almost and needing protection. Let's see, this pawn is protected. I could put my bishop here to attack the knight. I have this move, and he could push, and I could push. I could attack the rook. It seems like a decent diagonal for my bishop. And that fear of losing can lead to conservative and anxious play, which ironically may increase the likelihood of losing, right? Okay, he moves the rook. Where do my pieces want to be? The bishop is kind of staring at nothing. And at least it's staring at something on this diagonal. So I think let's play this move. And so how do you deal with that? I think the key is developing that growth mindset and trying to redefine what success is in chess. You have to focus on the process rather than the outcome, right? You have to shift the focus from winning and maintaining or improving your rating to improving skills and enjoying the game. And if you can make that the center of your focus, then the rating points will come. Let's see here. I could just go back, right? And I think I have to. I go back, and he pushes. Maybe we're taking. But I do think I have to go back here. The rating points will come. So how do you shift your focus like that? How do you shift your focus from the rating to that growth mindset? And it's easier said than done, right? Okay, he's attacking the bishop. If I play rook here, he's going to win this pawn. And then the bishop will be under attack, right? If I play queen here, everything is defended for now. I think I will just play queen here. You can do things like setting personal goals in the game. Not rating goals, but goals like mastering certain openings or training tactics or improving in games. And hopefully that can shift the emphasis from the outcome you're rating to growth in the game. Okay, I can take here and then play like this move. If I take and he takes the rook, I can play check, take, but then the bishop is hanging at the end of that. So I think we'll just take there. And this is all a little bit ironic because I'm making a series where I'm trying to make it to an ELO goal, right? I'm very focused on the rating, and I'm trying to make it to an ELO goal of of 2000. In fact, there are quite a bit of people who are doing a similar series, this Road to 2000 series. And they're sharing their games online, right? And I think acknowledging this, that it can be easy to tie your ELO points to your identity. I think acknowledging this, especially for these content creators, is especially important, because for these content creators, the pressure can be amplified, right? Because you're sharing your journey with an audience. Let's see, what do we play here? This pawn is under attack. I could play my rook up, but the knight comes in. I attack the knight. He can infiltrate. But the queen is coming to protect. Let's try to defend this way. I also wanted to talk about chess tilt, because I think that's something that a lot of chess players can relate to. Obviously, I can relate to it, right? My rating right now is 1612, whereas, you know, a couple of episodes ago, we were 1750, right? Chess tilt is when you go on a losing streak due to psychological factors. You lose one game, maybe you blunder your queen, or you lose to a miscalculation, and you want to overwrite that horrible feeling of losing with a win. In my case, that feeling of wanting to overwrite the loss was particularly bad because my ELO was around a chess milestone. You know, I feel like it's particularly bad around the 100-point intervals. 900 ELO, 1000 ELO, 1700 ELO, because we consider those milestones. And when you dip back below, you want to regain that milestone, right? I identify as a 1700 because I have reached it once, and I want to regain that because it feels bad that I am not there anymore. But the problem is, when you go into the next game wanting to overwrite that feeling of the loss, you are often not in the right mental space to play your best chess. And when you're not in the right mental state, that can lead to a cycle of frustration and a cycle of poor decision making, which is only fueling further loss. And the real kicker is you begin to chase the loss. You play more and more games in an attempt to win back what you have just lost. And that's what chess tilt is. It's playing more and more games to try to overwrite that feeling of the loss. But when you're playing chess to overwrite the feeling of a loss, you're not going to play your best chess. What do we do here? I feel like I want to just consolidate my positions somehow. He's threatening to go here, right? And take. I have to block with the queen. So I think I'm just going to bring my rook all the way back. And if I do that, does he have take here? If I take with a rook, he plays check, take, check. Block with the queen, he takes, I take, and he has time to move his queen out of the way. I could play this move, but he goes here anyways. And we take, and maybe I'm in time to play this move. Let's just go bishop back. So in the past 3 months, my ELO has shot up from like 1400 ELO, October, November, December, 1400 ELO, all the way up to my all-time peak of 1750 in just 3 months, right? I don't know if that's sustainable, but clearly it wasn't. And I recently experienced this chess tilt where I just experienced what I just talked about. Wanting to overwrite that loss, wanting to regain my milestone, and playing worse and worse because of that. And I think in the last, 25 chess rapid games, I think I won like 5 of them. Not very good. I think I won like 5 of them. Let's just play this move. So right now I'm trying to break the cycle, right? And how do you do that? It's easier said than done. And I think it requires a significant amount of self-awareness and discipline, right? You have to take a step back because you can't fix the situation immediately. If you do, it tries, if you do try and do that, it leads into that downward spiral. It leads into that chess tilt. So the best thing you can do is take a step back, take a break. So now I think for me, my focus is going to shift from focusing on my rating and this competitive side of chess to trying to immerse myself in the broader aspects of the game. I will still play competitive games and analyze them, because I do think that playing competitive games and analyzing them is the best way to get better at chess. I can't allow the queen to come in here, and I need to protect the rook. So I could come here, which I think I'll do. But my focus is going to shift from the competitive games and the analysis to, things like studying chess tactics, beginner level tactics, intermediate level tactics, advanced level tactics, opening studies, right? In-game studies. I think what I need is a training arc. I need a training arc where I can train, all of my weaknesses, even train my strengths, and try to, take a step back and reframe my mindset right now. And hopefully by doing that, by broadening my approach and my focus, I will be, not only preparing myself better for future games after my training arc, but also, rediscovering or trying to rediscover the joy of learning chess. I think I'm just going to go king here to guard this square. Dealing with chess tilt and the psychological pressures of the game, both on and off the board, I think requires a pretty balanced approach. Okay, I think I definitely want to take here. And it's about understanding that chess is not just a series of wins and losses, but it is a journey. And hopefully it's a journey of, continuous learning and personal growth. Because I do think that there is a lot of personal growth to be found in playing chess. Maybe, you'll see, if I go here, where does the knight go? The knight kind of has to skedaddle, no? Let's go here. So I think whether you're aiming for an ELO goal or you're just playing for the love of the game. Okay, if I go here, he has check, take. I think we just do that anyways. I think maintaining that perspective, no matter how you are playing chess, is key to enjoying the game for a long time and improving at it over time. So let's figure out what to do here. I have loose pawns, right? I could go here and threaten checkmate, but he has check. I move, and he's not quite in time to take any of my pawns. So if I calculate that, check, here, move, just something like this. I go check, and he hides. I feel like I'm losing a lot of my pawns. I could go here. I could also try to trade queens. Take. And it's a pretty equal endgame. I could go here. Maybe I just do this. Well, if I do this, and he takes here. And if I do this, he has check. He's not in time to take this pawn. Let's play this move. So to all of my fellow chess enthusiasts out there, I think just remember to take a step back when it's needed and focus on the broader aspects of the game. And most importantly, enjoy the journey, right? Enjoy the journey. Because chess is a beautiful game. And there's a lot to be had from it. I could play check and take this pawn. And it defends this pawn. If he tries to attack this pawn, I can push. Let's do that. And it also attacks this pawn. Oh, he has checkmate. He has checkmate. Cool. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you have experienced similar challenges or if you have your own strategies for dealing with the psychological aspects of chess, share them in the comments, and we can all learn together, because I do think that a lot of chess players feel or can feel the same thing. Maybe not. It's a spectrum to varying degrees, um, but these are feelings that I have felt. Um, Maybe not as intensely as I have described them, but for sure I have felt them. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.